Trying to make it to the edge of town before the rain sets in. Someone asked me to do a video on how to make stinging nettle cordage. So I'm going to harvest some of this, get back to the house before the rain starts, and we'll talk about nettle and we'll talk about how to use it. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I am in my mother-in-law's basement for several reasons. One, because it's pouring down rain and the rain sound on the roof is distracting, and also because I don't have room in the RV. This is a requested video. I am doing this on how to make stinging nettle cordage, but we're also going to tell you other things that stinging nettles is good for. So it was just about to pour down rain on me whenever I collected my specimen for this, and I actually did wear one glove. I can't put a glove on the on this hand just yet because it's still sprained. I took a spill up in Canada and sprained it. So I had one glove on in order to pull this stinging nettle. It's right here on the floor. I figured I better not mess up the carpet upstairs. And now my mother-in-law's calling me. Take two. I knew that was going to happen. So when you make stinging nettle cordage, you can use old canes, and I'll show you that just in a little bit. But for this purpose, I picked a really nice fresh cane, and here's a young stinging nettle. If you're not sure how to identify it, actually I think this is just a leaf. No, it's a new one. I picked several small ones. These are kind of wilted already because I picked them a while ago, so they're not stinging quite so bad. So I may not wear my gloves to do this this entire video, but in order to strip off these leaves, I am going to wear my gloves. So I'm going to catch it up here at the top. It'll probably sting me just a little bit, but that actually is kind of good for you. So I sometimes just let it sting me. My husband has elephant hide, and it doesn't seem to bother him, but most people, you know, it'll really light you up. So what I'm going to do, excuse me, I'm going to strip all of these leaves off so that I just have the stem left. Okay, so I'll be right back. Let me strip these off. You could see some of the outer skin coming off when I do this. So then you can use this. It's actually best if you're going to use a lot of stinging nettle to use the young plants like the first one that I showed you, because these older plants, actually if you use a lot of it for tea and stuff like that, or soups or whatever, it contains a substance, and I don't remember what it is called, but it does contain a substance that can contribute to the formation of kidney stones. And no, it's not, what is the oxalates? It's not oxalates that I'm thinking of. So anyway, this top part I'm just going to kind of break off because the fibers are going to get really small up here, but you can see kind of the principle of what we're going to do here is break it, and then you peel off that outer skin right there. Okay, but there's a special way that we do this, and I'm going to try the best I can to show you this here in the basement. So let me change the position of the camera and I'll show you what we do. Okay, hopefully you can see this okay. It's a little bit awkward because I only have a small space on the workbench here in the basement. But and this does have some stings on it, but like I said, I picked it about an hour ago and it's already starting to wilt, so it's not really bothering me. But ideally I like to use a little piece of, like a wooden mallet or a piece of firewood or something. But where these joints are, where the leaves were attached, when you go to peel this outer skin off, it likes to break there and get really thin. Well, we don't want that to happen. So if you take something and just kind of break it up all the way up and down, I really don't like this. I would prefer to have something wider. Let me see if I can find something. Maybe this will do the trick. A little sealant. Anyway, you just want to go up and down break it up, especially over these joints. Just kind of tap it to break that loose a little bit. And you'd want to do this all the way down. This is quite a, this piece right here is probably at least 4 feet long. You want to do it all the way down, all the way up and down this. Just take and break it up. Maybe have to roll it on some of those joints that are thicker like that. You don't want to damage the outer skin. That's why I stopped using the screwdriver, because not sure if you can tell or not there, but it was actually damaging it a little bit. I don't want to do that. I want to keep it as whole and intact as I can. So we'll switch it around. The little end you don't really have to worry so much about. Just kind of give it a little tap. You see where these ends, where I broke it off, I was trying to pull it up so I could show you the root too, because the root has good medicinal use. But if you come to this end and you start to break it, this is very fresh. It's actually good to let it sit for a little while before you try to do this. But when you start breaking this open, you'll be able to peel that inner pith away, and you can start with peeling off that outer skin. Can you see that? That's what we want right there, is that outer skin. And you peel this off all the way up and down. You see how it broke right there? I didn't break it up at that joint quite enough, but you can save that like I did. You just kind of go back and grab it, start peeling that off. You want to get it nice and intact all the way down, over the joints. See, it's getting a little narrow. I didn't get it quite broken up good enough, but I can still use these pieces. So don't discard that just because it's not long. I'll show you what we do with these shorter pieces in just a bit, but let's see if we can get a longer piece off. Here's a nice, see how that's coming off? That's really nice. That's what you're looking for, is it to come off like that. Okay, just kind of take your time, work it loose. Over those joints. That's why you smash those joints a little bit. And you want to just peel this whole thing like this. This is a little bit too wide for making cordage. It does shrink a lot when you dry it, but you can actually take and see how that's already splitting. You could split that in two very easily and make your cordage with that. And I'll show you some pieces that are dried here in just a minute. I just want to kind of give you an idea of taking off the skin, and then I'll show you what to do with it to get it ready for making cordage, because you don't want to make cordage with it wet like this, because it could grow mold and stuff, and it's not as easy to work with. So you have to dry this a little bit, and it dries pretty quickly, especially if you have a heat source. If it's in the winter, you put it by a campfire or wood stove, or if you're in a dry environment, it's going to dry up really, really quickly. And you'll see. So when I start getting to the end there, I just kind of take it off, because it gets so thin and stuff. So there's a really super nice piece, and you're going to go around and just peel the whole thing like that. But that's what you're looking for, is that outer skin right there. And again, I would take this and just kind of split it in half. That does two things. It's going to dry a lot faster like that, and it's going to be better for working size for making your cordage. So then I would just take these pieces and hang them over, like put them on a hanger, hang them up, so they're not touching, and just let these dry until they're thoroughly dried. And let me show you what they look like when they're thoroughly dried, so that you know what you're looking for. This is leftover from a camp meeting that we did up in Alberta. This was part of our weed walk. So you can see a piece that's wide like this, it's going to dry down to something like that. And it's incredibly strong. I know I have a bum hand and everything, but you can really put a lot of tension on that. And yesterday, when we were driving in the truck, I made this bigger one. And both of these, the smaller one as well as the bigger one, my husband pulled on, and I'm sure that the smaller one, that he probably, if he put enough torque on it, he could probably break it. But I strongly doubt that he is strong enough to break this one. And what I'm doing is I'm making 3 that are about the same length, and then I'm going to weave them together and see how much, what the breaking strength of that is. Okay, so now that you have seen how to peel off the fresh outer skin of the nettle, which is what this is what a piece about this size will look like when it's dried. And it seems to be brittle, but it actually isn't. It actually will break and is quite pliable. So you want to take it in half, roughly in half. Let me put that piece down. You take it in half, and you find the center point, and you want to start twisting it like so until it begins to kink. And when it starts kinking, you just roll it in 2, okay? And you're going to hold this side. Now I'm left-handed, and if I can do this with a bum left hand, you can do it too. So this top one, you're going to roll away from you and then bring that bottom one under. The top one, you roll away from you and bring the bottom one under. Let me get kind of behind the camera here so that you can see what I'm doing better. Hopefully that's in the picture frame. You roll that away, you bring this under. So you're actually twisting this, rolling it, roll it, bring that one under. Roll it, twist that one up under it, roll that, bring that one up under it. And so this is what you're ending up with. And this doesn't have to be super tight. I tend to get it a little tighter than it needs to be. But let's say, for instance, that you're rolling it out and you get almost to the end and you want to make it longer. So I'm trying to get a single piece here. Forgive me for exiting the camera frame here. So what you would do if you need to add a length, so you've got this and you're rolling and bringing under and rolling and bringing under, and let's just pretend this is getting really short. All you want to do is get another piece, lay it in there, and sometimes I will double that. This one's kind of frayed, so let me get a smaller piece just for demonstration. So you've got your 2 legs here. I'm going to get that one out of the way. So you would just bring this extra piece right here, and you just lay it right here, and you can grasp it up above. You want to kind of stick it up above and grasp that, and then you just start the same procedure. Roll and bring under, roll and bring under, roll and bring under, roll and bring it under. Let's see if we can get it in the camera. Roll it, bring it under. I hope this is in focus for you. Roll it, bring it under. So then you can see that that piece is actually getting lengthened by that addition. And then you would do the same thing with the other side if you needed to lengthen the other side. I usually wait until it's on top. So like this one is now the short side. So then I'll just go and get another piece, do the same thing. So then when you're done, basically I just tie a knot in the end if I'm done making my cordage. So hopefully this will give you an idea of how you can make nettles cordage. Nettles are not the only plant that you can do this with. Milkweed is one that you can also do it with. Dogbane, you can do it with certain canes like I think raspberry. I'm not sure about blackberry. I've never tried blackberry. But this dried one, you can do the same thing. Yeah, see there, it's going to come off. And you can use that too. You can use these dried ones as well.
Well, greetings. I'd like to talk to you today about this incredible plant. Now, some of you who are watching might be able to recognize what this plant is. And on the back side of these leaves are little hairs that sting you. And there are also hairs on this stem that will sting you as well. This is stinging nettles. Now, stinging nettles is an amazing plant. It is also something that is edible. we can eat this. But of course, if we're going to eat this, we want to cook it first so that these hairs don't bother us. But stinging nettles, something interesting that it does to the body, when we come across it with our skin, it will stick us or poke us with its hairs that are on the back of the leaves, and it will inject us with formic acid and histamine and a couple other things. But the two I want to talk about is this formic acid. And what's so interesting about the formic acid, it is known in studies that it helps dissolve cholesterol within our vessels. I want to talk about that a little bit more too. But also it injects histamines within our body. And so we can use these leaves then to treat allergies because of the histamines that are found in it. Now, there's also within this compounds that will stimulate the production of nitric oxide. So what is nitric oxide? Well, nitric oxide helps us to have healthy blood vessels. It helps the elasticity and to dilate our vessels. And so it is known to help to reduce, along with the reduction of cholesterol, to reduce blood pressure within the body. I thought that was very interesting. But also too, there's a compound that is released in it when we either eat the leaf or if we drink it in a tea, which you can do with the leaves, that releases a compound called chromium. Now chromium acts very similar to that of insulin. In other words, it helps to allow glucose to get into our cells, so thus reducing blood sugar levels within our body. I thought this is very interesting. But also too, the root, for those of you who are men, this root is known to help reduce the inflammation of our prostate. So this we can do by also making a tincture or using a tea by using the root. Other properties that are beneficial to us is that it is very good with anti-inflammatory issues. Also, it is very high in antioxidants to help reduce free radicals within the body. When this would sting you across your body, what you can do to relieve the pain and the inflammation that it causes is to take the leaf and to roll it backwards to cover up the stings or the hairs on the backside, and then to chew on it or to beat it to release the compounds that are in the leaf, and then rub it on the area that was stung by the plant itself, and it'll help reduce the inflammation and the itch and the pain that this will cause. An incredible plant, stinging nettles.
Honey,
Yes.
is that stinging you?
No.
You have elephant hide.